It is officially getting ugly in Cleveland, folks. I mean, really, really ugly. We are watching a slow-motion car crash, and the entire NFL is stopping to stare. We were promised a head coach by Friday. We were promised a thorough process. Instead, we are getting a list of rejections that is longer than the list of candidates. Another top coaching candidate has just withdrawn his name from the Browns' search. That makes 2, allegedly 3, coaches who have looked at this job, looked at the roster, looked at the owner, and said, "No thanks, I'm good." Jesse Minter, gone. Mike McDaniel, gone. The Cleveland Browns are sitting there on a Thursday, empty-handed, while the rest of the NFL is making moves, signing contracts, and building their futures. Why are these coaches petrified of Cleveland? Why is a team with a stacked roster and a potential franchise quarterback in Shedeur Sanders being treated like a career killer? Because right now, it looks like Jimmy Haslam is going to have to settle for a backup plan. And that backup plan might just ruin the most promising rookie quarterback we've seen in years. The panic is setting in, the fans are revolting, and the clock is ticking. Let's break down the mess.
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but now we have 2 coaches, allegedly 3, count John Harbaugh, that have decided not to interview with the Browns. This is a ugly situation. It's getting ugly, bro. It's been reports coming out that teams are targeting people that the Browns are targeting because they're legit great coaches. Now, Grant Udinski, to me, I feel like he's the forefront runner, dude. But it looked like, from what I'm hearing, Grant Udinski finna go somewhere else and get another head coaching job. And I made a video over the weekend, and I told y'all that.
So, here is the breaking news that just dropped moments ago, and it is the catalyst for this entire meltdown. Jesse Minter, the Chargers' defensive coordinator, is not interviewing today. He was scheduled to be in the building. The flight was booked, the interview was set, and he cancelled. Why? According to sources telling Cleveland.com, it's because he feels like he has other head coaching opportunities that are much more certain. Let's translate that from PR speak to real talk. More certain means better. It means less dysfunctional. It means he looked at the Cleveland Browns and decided he would rather gamble on literally any other opening than step into Berea. That is a massive slap in the face. When a coordinator ghosts you because he thinks your job is the risky one, you know your franchise is in trouble. And he isn't the only one. Remember, Mike McDaniel allegedly turned down a head coaching interview here to be an offensive coordinator somewhere else. Think about the level of disrespect that involves. He would rather take a demotion in title than be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. That is how bad the reputation of this ownership group has gotten. We have to talk about the elephant in the room, the common denominator in every failed coaching search for the last decade, Jimmy Haslam. Why are candidates running away? It's not the city. Cleveland is a great football town. It's not the roster. We'll get to that. It is the man at the top. Coaches talk. Agents talk. And the word on the street is that Jimmy Haslam is a meddler. He is the guy who reportedly pushed for the Deshaun Watson trade. He is the guy who allegedly forces lineup decisions. He is the guy who has fired coaches after 1 season, remember Chudzinski, or 2 seasons, constantly resetting the clock. If you are a rising star, like Grant Udinski or Jesse Minter, you have 1 shot to be a head coach. If you pick the wrong team and get fired in 2 years because the owner is impatient, your career is over. You go back to being a positional coach. These candidates are looking at the Browns and seeing a graveyard of careers. They see what happened to Hugh Jackson. They see what happened to Freddie Kitchens. They even see Kevin Stefanski, a guy who won Coach of the Year twice, get fired. If he isn't safe, nobody is safe. That is the Haslam curse, and it is scaring away the best talent in the league. So, who is left? If Grant Udinski goes elsewhere, and Nate Shielhays is tied up, and Minter ghosted us, who do the Browns hire? All signs are pointing to the man who is already in the building, Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz is a fantastic defensive coordinator. We love what he did for the defense. He turned Myles Garrett and that unit into a juggernaut. But hiring him as head coach right now, it feels like settling for your safety school because Harvard and Yale rejected you. It feels like the Browns are saying, well, he's already here, he knows the passcode to the door, and nobody else wants the job. So let's just give it to Jim. Is that how you build a Super Bowl contender? Is that how you support a young superstar QB like Shedeur Sanders? By hiring a 59-year-old defensive-minded coach because you couldn't land the young offensive genius? It screams desperation. It screams we ran out of options. And in the NFL, when you settle for a coach, you usually end up firing him 24 months later. Here is another reason why coaches might be fleeing. The contract. The Cleveland Browns are still shackled to the $230 million fully guaranteed contract of Deshaun Watson. And according to reports, Watson is going to be on the roster in 2026. He is uncuttable. The dead cap hit would destroy the franchise, so any new coach coming in has to deal with that reality. They aren't just coaching a team, they are managing a financial crisis. They have to walk into a room and look at a quarterback who hasn't played well in years, who is eating up a massive percentage of the salary cap, and figure out how to build a team around him. Or they have to bench the $230 million man for a rookie, Shadur. That is a political minefield. If you bench Watson, the owner might get mad because he's paying him a fortune. If you play Watson and he sucks, the fans revolt. It is a lose-lose situation. Top candidates like Mike McDaniel want a clean slate. They want to pick their own quarterback. They don't want to inherit the most toxic contract in NFL history. This financial anchor is dragging the entire coaching search down to the bottom of Lake Erie. But wait, it gets even more incompetent. The Browns literally cannot hire anyone right now, even if they wanted to. Mary Kay Cabot just confirmed it. They haven't satisfied the Rooney Rule yet. To hire a head coach, the NFL requires you to interview at least 2 minority candidates in person. They haven't done it. They had interviews scheduled, but with withdrawals and scheduling conflicts, they are short. So now they have to scramble. They have to find someone, maybe Aiden Durdy or Nate Shielhays, to fly in next week just to check a box. Think about how embarrassing that is. You are a multi-billion-dollar organization, and you didn't plan your interview schedule well enough to follow the basic rules of the league. While they are waiting until Monday to follow the rules, other teams are signing contracts. The Falcons, the Titans, the Jets, they are all moving forward. The Browns are stalled. They are stalling their own process because they didn't plan this out properly. It is organizational malpractice. It shows a lack of attention to detail that starts at the top and trickles down to everything else. When you can't get the outside guys and you aren't sure about the coordinator, where do you look? You look deeper inside. There are rumors swirling that the Browns might even be considering other internal candidates just to fill out the interview list. Names like Bubba Ventrone, special teams coordinator, or Andy Dickerson, offensive line coach, are being floated around as potential Rooney Rule interviews, or just due diligence. Bubba Ventrone is a great special teams coach. Players love him. He has that Dan Campbell energy. But is he ready to be a head coach? Is he the guy to develop Shedeur Sanders? It feels like the Browns are grasping at straws. They are looking under the couch cushions for a head coach. When you are seriously considering promoting positional coaches, because the top coordinators in the league won't return your calls, you have lost the plot. This internal desperation is a clear signal that the external perception of the Browns is worse than we even thought.
Jerry Jeudy contract finna be, they finna have a whole lot of money to rebuild. And they just drafted an awesome rookie core. Shadur got some kinks he need to get worked out, but he's the guy. He's the guy. We all could agree that Shadur is the guy. Now, for whatever reason, these coaches are petrified. I repeat, petrified to go to Cleveland. Now let's pull it up right now, so y'all don't think I'm blowing smoke out of my hiney, bruh. It's being reported by.
Now, let's talk about the victim in all of this, Shedeur Sanders. Mary Kay went on the radio and spilled the beans on the quarterback situation. She made it crystal clear. It's going to be Shadur and Deshaun competing for the starting job, unless the new coach wants someone else. She explicitly said that the new head coach will have a large say in the QB room. If they hire someone like Todd Monken, he might say, I don't trust the rookie, go get me a veteran. If they hire Schwartz, maybe he sticks with Deshaun Watson because he's safe, and he knows the defense can carry him. Shedeur Sanders did his part. He played well at the end of the season. He showed flashes. He won over the locker room. But his future is now in the hands of a coach who doesn't even exist yet. And with every rejection, the pool of coaches who can actually develop him gets smaller. An offensive genius like Mike McDaniel would have been perfect for Shadur. A defensive coach like Jim Schwartz? That means Shadur has to learn on the fly with a defensive-minded head coach. That is a much harder path to stardom. We talk a lot about the quarterback, but what about the rest of the roster? The Browns have Myles Garrett, arguably the best defensive player of his generation. He is in his absolute prime. They have Denzel Ward, they have Jerry Jeudy, they have pieces. The nightmare scenario is that this botched coaching search wastes the final years of Myles Garrett's prime. If you hire a bridge coach or a settle coach like Jim Schwartz, and the team goes 7-10 or 8-9 for the next 2 years, Myles Garrett isn't getting any younger. You are burning the wick on a Hall of Fame career. Every year you spend figuring it out or retooling is a year you aren't competing for a Super Bowl. Instead, the front office is moving with the speed of a sloth. Fans are terrified that we are going to look back in 5 years and say, we had Myles Garrett and Shedeur Sanders, and we wasted them both because we couldn't hire a real coach. I spend a lot of time reading the comments, checking the forums, and listening to the radio. And I can tell you right now, the dog pound is tired. There is a palpable sense of apathy setting in. It's not even anger anymore. It's exhaustion. Fans are saying, wake me up when they sell the team. Fans are saying, I'm not renewing my season tickets. When your loyal fan base, people who stuck with you through 0 and 16, starts checking out, you are in the danger zone. This coaching search was supposed to be a spark. It was supposed to be the new era. Instead, it feels like the same old movie on repeat. The media isn't helping. The clickbait titles, the negativity, the constant drama. But the media only reports what the team gives them. And right now, the team is giving them a circus. If Jimmy Haslam doesn't fix this, he is going to lose the locker room and the stadium. I'm going to be real with you guys. The problem isn't the roster. The roster is stacked. We have cap space coming up. We have young talent. The problem is the brand. Nobody wants to work for Jimmy Haslam. And frankly, nobody wants to deal with the Cleveland ecosystem right now. It's too messy. It's too negative. Coaches want stability. They want alignment. They want to know that if they lose 3 games, they won't be fired on Twitter. Cleveland is a soap opera. And high-level professionals don't want to star in a soap opera. They want to win football games. And my biggest fear? Shedeur Sanders is watching. He is seeing this chaos. He sees coaches running away. I'm telling you right now, the second his rookie contract is up, if this doesn't change, he is gone. He will be on the first thing smoking out of Cleveland. Why would he stay in a place that can't even conduct a normal job interview? He has the prime brand to protect. He won't let Cleveland tarnish it forever.